Hey everyone, this is Adam Horton. Welcome back to the second video in my series tutorial on how to play Dominion, the card game. In the first video we worked pretty much only with these money and victory cards. Now these cards, the 7 on the left, will be in every game of Dominion you play. The 3 main green cards, 3 main treasure cards, and also these curses. Now the curses are worth negative points and they don't do anything, so you probably don't want to buy them, but we'll sort of get to those later. Now, also in every game of Dominion, there will be 10 additional cards. Well, most of the time there will be 10. 10 additional cards, and those cards are called Kingdom cards. And those Kingdom cards will be different in every game of Dominion that you play. That's where the flavor comes in. Chances are, in every game of Dominion you'll ever play, you'll probably never play with the same kingdom twice, unless you're doing it on purpose. These shiny cards are what shape the surface of every game of Dominion that you'll play. And depending on which cards are available, the strategies will take completely different directions, and the shape of the game will be totally different. So you'll probably never play the same game twice in more ways than one. So let's talk about what these are, how we get them, and how your turn is affected by them. So as before, we've taken our first hand, and we've got $4. We'll go ahead and play our $4, and let's try out one of these cards. Well, this one costs 4. It says Smithy, and it's an action card, and it gives you 3 cards, and it costs 4. Well, let's go ahead and buy this and see what happens. Alright, and here's our 3. We'll go ahead and buy silver, shuffle, and we'll take on our turn 3 here. Oh, here's 3, we'll get a silver. We'll see our Smithy eventually. Here we go. Here's our Smithy. Now, this is the other part of the Dominion turn that I glossed over before. Before you play your treasures and you buy your card, you can play one action card. You get one action to do whatever you want with. Well, this card says action on it, so let's use our action to play this card. Let's play the card. So you play the card, you put it down on the table, and you say, I'm playing a Smithy. And the Smithy says, plus 3 cards. Now, whenever a card instructs you plus X cards, that means you take that many cards from your deck and you put them into your hand. Now, here was 2. I need a third one. I need to reshuffle to get that. Okay. Here's our third card. So now I've got 7 cards in my hand. That was awesome. Smithy's really good. And with these 7 cards, I've already got $7. I can buy something that costs up to 7. So that was pretty cool. These action cards are pretty powerful, to be honest with you. So, well, let's go ahead and buy our gold. That was pretty good. Now, these action cards can affect your hand in all sorts of ways. A lot of them are good, like the Smithy, but let's take a look at some of the other ones. This one, we got $4, and here's a Militia. The Militia costs 4. It gives you $2, so whenever you play the action card, once you get into your buy phase, the phase where you play your treasures and buy a card, the Militia will give you $2 extra. It's just like having a silver. And then there's some text on it. It says each other player discards down to 3 cards in hand. So those 5 cards they've been staring at ever since the end of their last turn, they only get to keep 3 of them. That's not really the best way in the world to make friends, but it's a pretty good way of winning. So, we'll play our Militia. Now when anyone else plays a Militia, we'll maybe say some dirty words and pick our 2 least favorite cards and just throw them in the discard. So, some of the cards are good, some of the cards are bad. Bad for your opponents, that is. Now, each of these cards took an action to play. So let's say I drew a 5-card hand that looked like this. Got 2 actions in my hand. Well, I can only play 1, because that's what the rules said, and each one of these requires an action to play. Well, now I've got to choose between which one I want to play more, and the other one is just not doing anything. Might as well have bought an estate, or maybe if I bought a silver, then I could at least play the silver at the end of the turn. Well, another way around that issue is some of these other cards. This one's called Village. The Village gives you a card, just like the Smithy did. 1 card from your deck, put it into your hand, but it also gives you plus 2 actions. That means that after you're playing the Village, you get to play 2 other action cards. So say my hand looked like this. Got all these actions, but I play the Village, draw a card, and now I've got these 2 actions that I can use to play 2 other action cards. So the villages, they don't really do all that much except enable you to play other action cards. If I got a ton of action cards in my deck, I might want to consider picking up some villages in order to be able to play them all. Otherwise, they're not doing anything for me, and I just wish I had a silver instead. The other thing that the cards can do for you, for example, here's Market. It gives you 1 of everything. It gives you a card, gives you an action, so you can play another action after your market. It gives you $1, and then it gives you this thing called plus buy. Now, your turn, you get 1 buy, and when I say 1 buy, that means I can buy 1 card. If I had $6, I could buy 1 card as long as it costs up to $6. But let's say I played a market on my turn. The market allows me to buy up to 2 cards. So, I can buy up to 2 cards as long as they total less than what my total money is. My total money, let's say it's 7. If I've got 2 buys, I can buy a 6 cost, or I can buy a 6 and a 1 cost, or I can buy a 4 and a 3 cost. I couldn't buy a 6 and a 3 cost. That's a total of more than 7. So additional buys are when my hands are so awesome that just buying 1 card is not good enough to capture the true awesomeness. That's when I want to buy some of these cards that give you plus buy. They allow you to buy multiple cards in a turn so that you can accelerate your deck on an even faster pace than just buying 1 card per turn. So, these are some of the more simple action cards that you can buy. And these, it's good to think of these as optimizations to the basic strategy the first time we saw the first video, where we're just buying money and then eventually provinces. That'll get you pretty far. The action cards can get you further, but you gotta do it smart. And in the next video, we'll talk a little bit about some dangers that you run when you start buying action cards.